The night air was thick with tension, and the whispers that had been circulating for weeks finally exploded into the kind of scandal fans had been waiting for. Rasheeda, the woman whose love story with Kirk had captivated reality TV audiences for years, stepped forward with a confession that left everyone reeling. She still loves Kirk even after his shocking marriage to Jasmine. Social media erupted instantly. Fans are shocked, divided between disbelief and sympathy, as the revelation threatened to turn Kirk's carefully curated life upside down. For months, rumors had swirled about unresolved feelings, secret conversations, and late-night texts, but no one expected Rasheeda to come clean in such a public way. Emotions ran high as her closest friends and family grappled with the news, unsure how to react. While Kirk himself faced the impossible task of addressing a love he had thought was long behind him, tensions simmered as the media pounced, digging for every tiny detail. And viewers across the country watched in anticipation. Could Kirk navigate this emotional minefield without his marriage unraveling? Or would Rasheeda's confession ignite a series of confrontations, betrayals, and heartbreaks that would leave the family divided and fans gasping at every twist? As Rasheeda's voice trembled but her eyes remained steadfast, it was clear that this story was far from over, and no one could predict how it would unfold next. The room was silent, save for the occasional gasp and stifled sob, as Rasheeda sat across from Kirk, her hands trembling slightly as she searched for the right words. "Kirk, I can't keep pretending anymore," she said, her voice barely above a whisper but heavy with emotion. "Even after everything. After Jasmine, I still love you." The confession hit Kirk like a tidal wave, his eyes widening in disbelief. The walls that had once contained their shared history seemed to close in. As the weight of the moment settled on everyone present, Jasmine, who had been sitting quietly beside Kirk, felt the air thicken. Her face betrayed a mixture of shock, hurt, and rising anger. The family was left divided, whispers spreading like wildfire. Could love survive where betrayal lingered? Friends and fans took to social media, flooding timelines with speculation and outrage, creating an unprecedented storm of drama that no one could ignore. Emotions ran high, alliances were tested, and the fragile balance of relationships began to crack. Every glance, every word, every hesitation seemed loaded with meaning, as if the walls themselves were holding secrets that might soon be unleashed. As Rasheeda's confession lingered in the room like an uninvited guest, the tension became almost unbearable, promising that the coming days would be filled with confrontation, revelations, and perhaps even shocking decisions that no one saw coming. Kirk ran a hand through his hair, his jaw tight, trying to process the storm that had just hit his carefully controlled world. "Rasheeda, I don't know what to say," he stammered, his voice a mixture of confusion and guilt. Jasmine, unable to contain herself any longer, stood abruptly, her eyes flashing with anger. "Don't even try. Kirk, I married you, thinking the past was over, and now she comes back, spilling her heart in front of everyone." The tension in the room escalated as friends and family exchanged nervous glances, unsure of how to intervene without making things worse. Rasheeda's eyes glistened with tears, but her voice remained steady. "Jasmine, I never wanted to hurt you, I can't lie about my feelings anymore. Kirk, you have to know the truth, even if it's messy." Fans across social media were in a frenzy, live streaming reactions, dissecting every word, every expression. Hashtags trended within hours. Hashtag RASHEEDA confession. Hashtag Kirk drama. Hashtag love triangle explodes. Emotions ran high as alliances shifted and old wounds reopened. The family was left divided, some sympathizing with Rasheeda, others defending Jasmine, while Kirk felt the crushing weight of responsibility for hearts on all sides. The night promised more revelations, heated arguments, and shocking twists that would keep viewers glued to every detail of this unfolding reality drama. Just when it seemed the tension had reached its peak, Rasheeda's younger sister, Tama, stepped forward, her voice trembling but firm. "Enough," she shouted, the room jolting at the sudden outburst. "We can't keep circling the same pain. Kirk, you need to face the consequences of your choices. And Rasheeda, you have to decide if loving him is worth destroying the life he's built with Jasmine." The words cut through the thick silence, igniting a heated debate among the family and friends present. Emotions ran high as accusations flew. Jasmine accused Kirk of never fully letting go of his past. Rasheeda accused him of abandoning their shared history, and Kirk was caught between the two, torn and visibly shaken. Fans were glued to every detail online, sharing memes, reaction videos, and fiery comments, all attempting to predict what would happen next. Social media became a battlefield of opinions. Who was right? Who was wrong? And could love really survive such a tangled web of betrayal and heartbreak? Every whisper, glance, and unspoken thought added fuel to the fire, making it clear that this confession was not just a moment. It was the spark for an emotional wildfire that would consume relationships, reputations, and hearts alike. The drama was far from over, and the next chapter promised to be even more explosive. As the argument continued, Kirk finally found his voice, though it was shaky and conflicted. "Rasheeda, Jasmine, I never wanted any of this to happen," he admitted, his eyes darting between the two women. "I thought I had moved on, but seeing Rasheeda now, hearing her say that, it's tearing me apart." Jasmine's hands clenched into fists, her knuckles white, as she glared at him. "Tearing you apart? Kirk, do you even hear yourself? We're supposed to be building a life together. And now you're letting her emotions invade that." The room seemed to vibrate with the intensity of the confrontation, each word striking harder than the last. Friends and family tried to mediate, but emotions ran high and tempers flared, leaving the family divided and everyone on edge. Fans were captivated, sharing clips of the tense moments, speculating about secret meetings, and dissecting body language for any hint of hidden intentions. The drama spiraled further when Rasheeda revealed that she had been quietly communicating with Kirk for months, sending messages that only deepened the rift between him and Jasmine. Emotions ran high, and the air was thick with tension, uncertainty, and the tantalizing possibility of more explosive confrontations looming just beyond the next conversation. The room seemed to shrink with every passing second, each heartbeat echoing the chaos that had erupted. Kirk sank into a chair, burying his face in his hands as if trying to shield himself from the storm of emotions swirling around him. Rasheeda, still standing, her chest heaving with the force of her confession, stared at him, eyes glistening with both love and desperation. "Kirk, I didn't come here to ruin anything," she said, her voice trembling yet resolute. "I just couldn't stay silent anymore. I've loved you through everything, even when you chose Jasmine, even when I tried to move on. I can't lie about it." Jasmine's lips pressed into a thin line, her fingers tapping rhythmically against her thigh in a way that betrayed the rage she was holding back. "And what about me, Kirk?" she demanded, her voice cracking. "I married you, thinking I was your forever. Were all those vows meaningless to you? Was I just a placeholder while you clung to the past?" The tension was unbearable, the silence after her words loaded with accusation and grief. Family members exchanged anxious glances, some stepping forward to calm the rising storm, while others silently chose sides. Friends tried to mediate, their voices drowned out by the thunder of emotions crashing over the room like relentless waves. Rasheeda took a step closer to Kirk, her hand reaching out, hesitant but full of intent. "I never stopped caring, Kirk. Every time I saw you, every message, every fleeting memory, it reminded me that love doesn't just vanish because circumstances change. I need you to know the truth, even if it hurts everyone else." Kirk looked up, his eyes red-rimmed, a mixture of sorrow and longing etched across his face. "Rasheeda, I don't know if I can undo the pain that's already been done," he whispered. The words barely left his lips before Jasmine's voice cut through, like a blade. "Undo the pain? Kirk, the pain is real, and it's here, right now. You have to choose me or her. Because you can't have both without destroying us all." The confrontation escalated, voices overlapping, emotions fraying at the edges. Rasheeda's best friend Latoya stepped in, her own tears streaking her face. "Enough of this," she shouted. "You're all so focused on your own hearts that you forget the damage being done to everyone around you. Kirk, Rasheeda, Jasmine, think about the consequences before this blows up even more." But her plea barely cut through the emotional storm, and the family was left divided. Some members whispered support for Rasheeda, praising her courage to speak her truth. Others rallied behind Jasmine, defending her claim to a marriage built on promises and trust. As the night wore on, emotions ran high with each revelation. Rasheeda disclosed that she had been secretly helping Kirk through business troubles, offering advice and encouragement when no one else knew, which made Jasmine's eyes widen in disbelief. "So all this time, you were sneaking around behind my back?" Jasmine's voice was trembling with a combination of fury and heartbreak. Rasheeda shook her head vehemently. "No, Jasmine. It wasn't sneaking. I was supporting him because I care. I've always cared." Kirk's mother, who had been quietly observing the chaos, finally spoke up, her tone sharp. "Kirk, you need to face the reality. These are not just feelings. This is history, loyalty, and love that hasn't faded. But you also have responsibilities now. One wrong move, and the entire family is shattered." Fans were glued to their screens, live updates, flooding social media, analyzing every gesture, every word, and every pause. The hashtags #RASHEEDA confession, #Kirk drama, and #Jasmine heartbreak trended worldwide. As millions debated who had the moral high ground and whether Kirk could ever reconcile his past and present without causing irreparable damage. The drama intensified when Rasheeda revealed that she had written Kirk a letter months ago, confessing her lingering love, but he had never read it until now. The room erupted into chaos at the revelation, emotions spiraling beyond control. Jasmine sobbed openly, Rasheeda's shoulders shook with pent-up emotion, and Kirk's hands trembled as he tried to make sense of the torrent of feelings crashing down on him. The scene turned even more dramatic when Kirk's brother, Antoine, entered unexpectedly, his face a mask of frustration and concern. "I can't watch this anymore," he said, voice booming across the room. "Rasheeda, you need to step back, and Kirk, you need to stop living in the past. Jasmine has been by your side through thick and thin. You can't just ignore her heart for a love that's, I don't know, unfinished history." Rasheeda's eyes flashed with hurt. "Antoine, you don't understand. This isn't just history, it's unfinished, and it's real. I'm not asking for anything except honesty, and I won't lie about my feelings anymore." The confrontation reached a fever pitch, with family and friends caught in the crossfire of raw emotion. Old grievances and unspoken resentments. Emotions ran high as secrets were revealed. Kirk had once considered leaving Jasmine for Rasheeda. Rasheeda had sought advice from mutual friends on how to approach the confession. And Jasmine had confronted Kirk privately weeks ago, sensing unresolved feelings. Every twist only deepened the stakes, leaving no one untouched by the upheaval. Fans continued dissecting every clip, replaying moments to catch subtle expressions of betrayal, longing, and regret. The drama had transcended a simple love triangle. It had become a battle of hearts, loyalties, and the fragile line between past and present. Kirk finally stood, voice heavy with exhaustion and emotion. I need time," he admitted, tears spilling over. "I can't make a decision right now, and I don't want to hurt anyone more than I already have." Jasmine flinched, her eyes narrowing with both pain and disbelief. Rasheeda's lips quivered, yet she nodded, understanding the impossible position he was in. The room fell silent, the tension thick enough to cut with a knife, but the drama was far from over. Social media erupted anew, fans speculating on what Kirk's next move would be, whether he would follow his heart or honor the vows he had made. Emotions ran high, alliances shifted, and the family remained painfully divided, with every lingering glance promising that the next chapter of this saga would be even more explosive and heart-wrenching than anyone could imagine. The next morning brought no relief, only more tension and whispered speculation. Kirk sat alone in his study, head in his hands, replaying every word from the previous night like a relentless loop. Rasheeda's confession echoed in his mind. "I still love you, even after Jasmine." The weight of it pressed down on him, mixing guilt, longing, and confusion into a heavy fog he couldn't escape. Jasmine, meanwhile, retreated to the bedroom she and Kirk shared, pacing as anger and heartbreak battled for dominance. How could he let this happen? She muttered under her breath, fists clenched. "All these months, I trusted him, and now this." Rasheeda, on the other hand, found herself cornered by her own emotions. Friends called, offering advice and support, some telling her to let go, others encouraging her to fight for Kirk's love. She knew the path forward was fraught with risk, yet she couldn't silence the feelings that had been simmering for years. "I can't just disappear," she whispered to her closest friend. "Even if it ruins everything, I have to be honest. He deserves to know the truth." Word of Rasheeda's confession spread like wildfire. Fans flooded social media with reactions. Some were sympathetic to her. Others fiercely defended Jasmine, and a growing number speculated about secret encounters, hidden messages, and behind-the-scenes negotiations between the trio. Every photo, every glance, every word was analyzed and dissected. The family was left in turmoil, unable to reconcile the love that had once been pure with the chaos it had now ignited. Emotions ran high as old resentments resurfaced. Cousins whispered about past betrayals. Friends debated who was truly in the right. and the household became a pressure cooker of unresolved feelings. By midday, tensions escalated when Kirk's mother called a family meeting. The room filled quickly, with friends and relatives taking sides. "This has gone too far," she said, her voice sharp but quivering. "We need clarity. Kirk, Rasheeda, Jasmine, you cannot continue like this. Decisions must be made." Rasheeda's eyes met Kirk's, a silent plea flickering across her gaze. Jasmine crossed her arms, jaw tight, emotions simmering dangerously just below the surface. Arguments erupted immediately, voices overlapping, accusations flying like sparks. "He never stopped thinking about you, did he?" Jasmine demanded, her tone cutting. Rasheeda shook her head vehemently. "I never interfered. I only spoke my truth." Kirk stood, his voice trembling. I can't erase the past. I didn't want this to hurt anyone, but now, everything is out in the open, and I have to face it." The emotional storm reached its peak as Rasheeda stepped closer to him. "You have to admit the truth, Kirk. You know what you feel. Stop hiding behind excuses." Jasmine's eyes welled with tears, her voice a whisper filled with desperation. "I married you believing we had a future. How can I trust anything now?" The family watched, frozen, as the drama unfolded, while fans online speculated endlessly. Some suggested Rasheeda was selfish. Others argued Jasmine didn't understand the depth of true love. Tensions ran high as secrets were revealed. Kirk admitted to lingering feelings, Rasheeda confessed months of private conversations, and Jasmine revealed she had confronted Kirk weeks ago, sensing unresolved emotions. Each revelation added fuel to the fire, making the household an emotional battlefield. By evening, a temporary calm settled as Kirk requested time alone with both women. The air was thick with anticipation, fear, and lingering desire. The family left, whispers trailing behind them, while fans speculated about the private conversations that could decide the course of everyone's lives. Emotions ran high, hearts beat faster, and the night promised more twists, confrontations, and emotional fireworks. The saga was far from over, and the path ahead was lined with heartbreak, betrayal, and the undeniable pull of a love that refused to fade. The private conversation between Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine began in the dimly lit living room, the air thick with tension and unspoken questions. Kirk ran a hand through his hair, looking exhausted. Torn between the two women whose hearts were now entangled in a web of past and present emotions. I need to be honest," he started, voice shaky, "because keeping secrets has only made everything worse. Rasheeda, you've always been in my heart. Even when I tried to move on." Rasheeda's eyes glistened. Hope and fear, battling for dominance. Jasmine's lips pressed tightly together, her fists clenching at her sides as she struggled to contain her rising anger. "So what does that mean, Kirk?" she demanded, voice trembling. "Do you want her instead of me? Did I mean nothing?" Rasheeda shook her head quickly. "No, Jasmine, it's not about replacing anyone. It's about truth. I can't pretend I don't feel what I feel. But I also don't want to destroy your marriage. I'm just asking for honesty." The emotional stakes escalated with every word. Kirk's brother Antoine had called to check in and ended up overhearing snippets, his voice now booming from the hallway. "Kirk, you can't keep both women in your heart without hurting everyone. You have to decide before it's too late." Fans erupted online, dissecting every word, every glance, every sigh. Social media became a battlefield of loyalty, with hashtags trending across the globe. Hashtag RASHEEDA, loves Kirk. Hashtag Jasmine heartbreak. Hashtag Kirk drama, explosion. Old friends texted and called, attempting to mediate, but the storm of emotions was unstoppable. The living room became a pressure cooker, with Rasheeda stepping closer, her voice shaking but fierce. "Kirk, I'm done hiding. You know what's real. Don't deny it." Jasmine's tears began to fall freely now, her voice cracking with anguish. "You promised me forever. But your heart clearly belongs somewhere else." The tension was interrupted when Kirk's mother entered quietly, her face lined with worry. "This has gone far enough," she said, her tone calm but firm. "You're tearing the family apart. Kirk, Rasheeda, Jasmine, you need to step back and think. Every choice has consequences. Every word spoken now will change everything." The room fell silent as her words sank in, but the storm was far from over. Rasheeda glanced at Kirk, searching for reassurance. "I just want him to know how I feel," she whispered. Kirk's hand found hers for a brief, tremulous moment, igniting a mixture of longing and guilt that none of them could ignore. As night fell, private messages and leaked photos began surfacing online. Rumors about secret meetings, emotional texts, and past encounters flooded the internet. Fans analyzed every detail, debating whether Kirk could reconcile his love for Rasheeda with his marriage to Jasmine. Emotions ran high, with alliances shifting. By the hour, some family members took Rasheeda's side, arguing that true love cannot be denied. Others defended Jasmine, insisting that a marriage vow should never be broken for past feelings. The next day brought a shocking twist. Rasheeda revealed that she had been supporting Kirk behind the scenes during recent business troubles, offering advice, encouragement, and even financial help, all without Jasmine knowing. Jasmine's eyes widened in disbelief. So everything you did, all those months, was secret? You were helping him behind my back. Rasheeda's voice was firm. It wasn't secret to hurt you, Jasmine. I only wanted to support him because I care. I've always cared. Kirk's mother shook her head in exasperation. This is exactly why emotions need boundaries. Love isn't just about feelings, it's about responsibility, loyalty, and truth. Friends and family convened once more to discuss the escalating drama. Heated debates erupted over who had the moral high ground, who was truly hurt, and who was manipulating emotions for attention. Emotions ran high as past grievances resurfaced, long-forgotten betrayals. Unresolved conflicts and lingering resentments bubbled to the surface. Rasheeda admitted 2 months of private conversations with Kirk, hoping to gauge whether he still loved her. Jasmine revealed she had confronted him weeks earlier, sensing unresolved emotions she had feared all along. Each revelation deepened the stakes, leaving no one untouched by the upheaval. By evening, Kirk requested one final, private discussion with both women. The room was thick with anticipation, fear, and the undeniable pull of lingering love. Rasheeda's eyes locked with Kirk's, silently pleading for acknowledgement. Jasmine's hands trembled, tears streaming down her face, as she tried to hold on to a marriage that now felt fragile and uncertain. The family and friends waited anxiously outside, knowing that the decision made in that room would alter the course of everyone's lives forever. Social media users speculated endlessly, posting theories, memes, and reactions to every leaked snippet. Emotions ran high as viewers around the world wondered, could Kirk reconcile his heart with his past? Or would the confession ignite a series of confrontations, betrayals, and heartbreaks that no one could survive? The private discussion stretched late into the night, the tension nearly suffocating. Kirk sat between Rasheeda and Jasmine, his hands clasped tightly, eyes darting from one to the other as if seeking guidance from some unseen force. I don't know how to fix this, he admitted, voice barely audible over the storm of emotions. Rasheeda leaned in, her hand brushing against his, a silent plea hidden in the gesture. Kirk, I'm not asking for perfection. I just need honesty. I need you to acknowledge what's real between us. Jasmine's lips trembled, and she swallowed hard, her voice breaking. Real? You think this is real? Real is what we built together. Real is the vows we said in front of everyone. How can that mean nothing compared to memories? Kirk's head fell into his hands, the weight of both women's emotions pressing down on him. Tears welled in his eyes as he whispered, I never stopped caring. Rasheeda, but Jasmine, I also love you. I'm torn. Rasheeda's eyes shone with a mixture of hope and pain. Then you have to make a choice, Kirk. You can't have both. It's not fair to either of us. Jasmine's sobs filled the room, each one a dagger to Kirk's heart. The family outside waited anxiously, knowing that the next words he spoke could either heal or destroy everything. Meanwhile, the world watched. Fans dissected every leaked detail, theorizing about secret meetings, late-night texts, and private confessions. Social media became a frenzy of opinions, memes, and debates. Hashtag RASHEEDAV's Jasmine, hashtag Kirk Love Triangle, hashtag Drama Explodes. Everyone had a stake in the unfolding drama, and emotions ran high across the digital landscape. Friends called, some offering support, others cautioning Kirk about the storm he was navigating. Kirk, you have to think about more than just your heart, one friend urged. Lives are involved. Families are being torn apart. You can't let your past ruin everything. The emotional intensity reached new heights when Rasheeda revealed that she had been quietly supporting Kirk's business struggles behind Jasmine's back. I didn't do it to hurt anyone, she said, voice trembling but firm. I did it because I care. I couldn't just watch him struggle and do nothing. Jasmine's eyes narrowed in disbelief. So all these months, you were secretly helping him. That's your idea of honesty. The air crackled with tension, each word adding fuel to the fire. The family tried to mediate, but tempers flared and sides were taken. Some supported Rasheeda, praising her courage and honesty. Others defended Jasmine, emphasizing loyalty and the sanctity of marriage vows. Kirk, overwhelmed and exhausted, finally stood by. I need time, he admitted. I can't decide in a moment, and I don't want to hurt anyone more than I already have. Rasheeda nodded, understanding, though her eyes betrayed lingering hope. Jasmine's tears flowed freely, her body shaking with anguish. The family watched silently, the air thick with uncertainty, as Kirk retreated to the study, leaving the women to grapple with their emotions. The following days only intensified the drama. Fans speculated about every private conversation, every glance, and every phone call. Rumors spread about secret encounters, hidden letters, and emotional texts exchanged between Kirk and Rasheeda. Every new leak sent waves of reactions across social media, with supporters and critics weighing in relentlessly. Emotions ran high, alliances shifted, and the family remained painfully divided. Every whispered conversation, every sigh, and every decision carried the weight of potential heartbreak. Kirk finally called a family meeting, inviting both Rasheeda and Jasmine to confront the situation openly. We need to talk, all of us, he said, his voice heavy with responsibility. No more secrets, no more whispers. We have to face the truth together. The room filled with tension as Rasheeda and Jasmine exchanged glances, the unspoken conflict palpable. I just want him to be honest, Rasheeda whispered. Jasmine's hands trembled, her voice quiet but firm. I want him to honor our marriage. That's all I ask. The meeting spiraled into heated debates, accusations, and tearful confessions. Friends and family tried to mediate, but emotions ran high and tempers flared. Rasheeda revealed private conversations and secret meetings that had kept the truth hidden for months, while Jasmine shared her own fears and suspicions that had been simmering beneath the surface. Kirk struggled to reconcile his feelings for both women, his heart torn between past and present, love and loyalty, desire and duty. As the hours passed, no resolution came. The family remained divided, with factions forming around Rasheeda and Jasmine. Emotions ran high, friendships were tested, and alliances shifted with every new revelation. Fans online continued to dissect every detail, theorizing endlessly about Kirk's next move and the potential fallout of his decisions. The drama was far from over, and every conversation, every glance, and every decision seemed destined to ignite more chaos, heartbreak, and confrontation. The night ended with Kirk retreating once more, seeking solitude to process the emotional whirlwind. Rasheeda and Jasmine remained, their emotions raw, their hearts conflicted, and the room heavy with unspoken tension. Outside, the family whispered anxiously, while fans around the world waited with bated breath, hungry for the next twist in this explosive saga. The confession had ignited a chain reaction that no one could contain, leaving every heart in the room and every viewer online on edge, wondering what the next chapter would hold. Kirk sat in the dim glow of the living room, the weight of Rasheeda's confession pressing on him like a physical force. His hands trembled as he ran them through his hair, and for a moment, the world seemed to shrink to the space between him, Rasheeda, and Jasmine. I don't know how to fix this, he whispered, voice cracking under the weight of guilt, longing, and confusion. Rasheeda, standing with her hands slightly extended toward him, whispered back, Kirk, you have to be honest. You know what's real between us. Her eyes glistened with tears, but there was a fierce determination in them that made Kirk's heart ache. Jasmine, sitting on the sofa, crossed her arms tightly, her jaw taut. Real. You think this is real? Real is what we built together. Real is the vows we said. How can that mean nothing compared to memories? The room was silent for a heartbeat, the tension almost unbearable, before Rasheeda stepped closer. It's not about replacing anyone, Jasmine, she said, voice trembling but steady. It's about truth. I can't hide my feelings anymore. I've loved him through everything, even when he married you. I'm not asking for anything, just honesty. Jasmine's fists clenched, her tears starting to fall. Honesty. This is honesty. This is tearing my life apart. Kirk finally looked up, his eyes red and swollen. I never stopped caring, Rasheeda, but Jasmine, I love you too. I'm torn. The words hung in the room, heavy and suffocating. Rasheeda's lips quivered, her hope and fear colliding. Then you have to decide. Kirk, you can't have both. Jasmine's sobs filled the space, raw and unrestrained. Friends and family outside waited anxiously, knowing that every second could change the trajectory of the household forever. Social media exploded hashtags like hashtag RASHEEDA loves Kirk, hashtag Jasmine heartbreak, and hashtag Kirk drama trended globally as fans dissected every moment. The next day brought no relief. Kirk sat alone in the study, replaying every word of Rasheeda's confession, even after Jasmine. The words echoed in his mind. Jasmine, meanwhile, retreated to the bedroom, pacing furiously, muttering, "How could he let this happen? I trusted him." Rasheeda, surrounded by friends offering support, whispered, "I can't just disappear. Even if it ruins everything, I have to be honest." The family remained divided. Some supported Rasheeda, arguing that love can't be denied. Others defended Jasmine, citing loyalty and marriage vows. Emotions ran high, alliances shifted, and secrets from the past resurfaced. The drama escalated when Kirk's mother called a family meeting. The room filled quickly with friends and relatives. "This has gone too far," she said sharply. "Kirk, Rasheeda, Jasmine, you cannot continue like this. Decisions must be made." Rasheeda glanced at Kirk, silently pleading. "I just want him to know how I feel," she murmured. Jasmine's hands trembled, her voice quiet but resolute. "I want him to honor our marriage. That's all I ask." The meeting spiraled into heated arguments, with accusations flying and tears flowing freely. Rasheeda revealed months of private conversations with Kirk, while Jasmine disclosed her suspicions and fears, which she had confronted him about weeks earlier. The stakes couldn't have been higher. Every word, every glance, every hesitation, held the power to ignite disaster. Kirk, overwhelmed, finally asked for a private discussion. "I need to talk with both of you alone," he said. The room cleared, leaving only the three of them in a charged silence. I don't know what to do," Kirk admitted, voice barely audible. Rasheeda's hand brushed his, a silent plea for acknowledgement. "You have to admit the truth, Kirk. Stop hiding behind excuses," she whispered. Jasmine, tears streaming, demanded, "How can I trust you now? You're letting her love invade our life." Hours passed with emotional revelations. Rasheeda revealed she had been quietly supporting Kirk's business struggles behind Jasmine's back. "I couldn't just watch him struggle," she explained, voice quivering. Jasmine's disbelief boiled over. "So all this time, you were secretly helping him? Behind my back?" Kirk's mother intervened once more. "This is why love needs boundaries. Feelings are not enough, they must be tempered with responsibility." The family tried to mediate, but tempers flared and sides were taken. Some praised Rasheeda for her courage. Others defended Jasmine's claim to loyalty and marriage vows. The following days saw fans glued to every update, analyzing leaked texts, photos, and private conversations. Rumors swirled about secret meetings, emotional confessions, and private confrontations. The family remained divided, and every conversation carried the potential for heartbreak. Kirk finally called another family meeting. "No more secrets," he declared. "We need to face the truth together." The tension was almost tangible, as Rasheeda and Jasmine exchanged looks filled with unspoken accusations and longing. "I just want honesty," Rasheeda whispered. Jasmine's hands shook as she responded, "I want him to honor our marriage." Arguments erupted again, heated and tearful, with friends and family struggling to mediate. Rasheeda revealed private interactions she had kept hidden for months, while Jasmine shared her fears of Kirk's lingering feelings. Kirk struggled to reconcile his emotions, torn between past love and present vows. The conflict became a battlefield of hearts and loyalties. With emotions running high and alliances shifting, fans online dissected every detail, posting theories, memes, and predictions. Captivated by the saga's intensity, late into the night, Kirk retreated to process the whirlwind. Rasheeda and Jasmine remained in the room, their emotions raw, their hearts conflicted, and the tension suffocating. Outside, family members whispered anxiously, while fans worldwide waited breathlessly for the next explosive twist. The confession had ignited a firestorm no one could contain, leaving everyone inside and outside the house on edge. Every glance, every word, every unspoken thought promised more drama, heartbreak, and confrontation in the chapters yet to unfold. This marked the beginning of a saga that would redefine loyalty, love, and trust for everyone involved. Fans continued to speculate, would Kirk choose Rasheeda, the love he never truly left behind? Would he honor Jasmine, the woman who stood faithfully by his side? Or would the emotional turmoil tear everything apart? Emotions ran high, hearts ached, and the drama promised to escalate with each passing day, leaving no resolution in sight, and every viewer on the edge of their seat. The room finally fell into an uneasy silence. Kirk sat, exhausted, while Rasheeda and Jasmine exchanged one last, charged look. Outside, whispers of speculation and gossip filled the hallways, while social media exploded with commentary, memes, and passionate debates. Emotions ran high, alliances shifted, and the fragile bonds of love, loyalty, and family hung by a thread. The story was far from over, and the night had only set the stage for even more shocking revelations, emotional confrontations, and decisions that would leave hearts broken, relationships tested, and viewers captivated for months to come. As the dust begins to settle on this whirlwind of emotions, one thing is clear: hearts have been tested, loyalties questioned, and secrets unearthed that no one could have anticipated. Rasheeda's confession, spilling out her lingering love for Kirk even after his marriage to Jasmine, has left everyone reeling, from family members caught in the middle, two friends desperate to mediate, two fans around the world glued to every detail. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the question that haunts everyone is simple yet devastating: who will Kirk choose? Will he follow the pull of his past with Rasheeda, or honor the vows he made to Jasmine? And what will become of the relationships that have already been fractured beyond repair? This is not just a story of love. It's a story of human emotion in its rawest form. Emotions ran high as confessions spilled, tears fell, and voices shook with the intensity of years of unresolved feelings. Fans are shocked, discussions are heating up online, and alliances are shifting every hour. Every revelation, every whispered secret, and every glance carries weight. Rasheeda's courage to speak her truth has sparked debates about honesty, love, and whether following one's heart is always the right choice. Meanwhile, Jasmine's heartbreak reminds us that loyalty and trust are fragile, easily shaken by the ghosts of the past. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Who do you think Kirk should choose? Can love survive the chaos of betrayal, lingering feelings, and family pressures? Or will the tension and heartbreak prove too much for even the strongest bonds? Your voice matters in this ongoing saga. Comment below with your opinion, share your theories about the next explosive twist, and let us know which side of the story resonates with you the most. Every comment adds to the conversation and keeps this drama alive for all fans who are following every twist and turn. Don't forget to like this video if you were shocked by Rasheeda's confession, if you felt the tension in every moment, or if you can't wait to see how Kirk will navigate this impossible choice. Share it with your friends and family who love a good love triangle, because this story is one that will have everyone talking for weeks. And of course, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a single update on this unfolding drama. The saga is far from over, and you'll want to be there for every heartbreaking decision, every shocking revelation, and every emotional showdown. Every moment counts, every choice matters, and every heartbeat in this story is charged with suspense. The family was left divided, emotions ran high, and fans around the world are still reeling. So join the conversation now. Comment, like, share, and subscribe, and make sure your voice is heard in the next chapter of this incredible heart-wrenching drama. Who will win Kirk's heart? Only time will tell, and you don't want to miss a single second of it.